Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Silver Tent TV. I'm your host, Siobhan A Riordan, along with my dog Elsa, and we know sometimes she can join in, but we just go with it. The Silver Tent is a global online platform for women over 50. It's a space for co-creative collaboration between women over 50. It's a space where women can come and pursue those dreams that have yet to be realised. And it's a place for sharing the wisdom that women over 50, by the very fact we've been round the block a few times, the wisdom that we've learned from those decades. I'm here today with Nadia Smith, and Nadia, how do we describe Nadia? Well, she's a Yorkshire lass from Belgian and Indian parentage who's been brought up all over the world and has a very powerful and amazing story to share with us about self-healing. I would probably describe you, Nadia, as an expert in Qigong, in that it's been a practice that you've used for a long time. Would that be a fair assessment?
That's right, yes, it is, Siobhan. And thank you for that lovely introduction. Yes, Qigong, for those people who don't know what it means, it comes from a Chinese word, it comes from China, and it means energy and cultivation or exercise. So basically it's cultivating internal energy in order to enhance your life. And it's thousands and thousands of years old. But the Chinese brought it out, and they use it within traditional Chinese medicine. This is based on the Taoist philosophy. And as a fitness instructor many years ago, I saw a little article, Healing Through Movement, which really struck a chord with me. And I thought, oh, that would be a great thing to do. It really, really attracted me that, you know, I could do a double whammy, enjoy exercise, but at the same time help people to get well. And that was 30 years ago.
Wow. So yeah, someone with some real wisdom here about an ancient system that's used all over the world,
That's right.
even today. And I kind of want to start with your own story, because you were diagnosed in, I think it was 2004, with osteoarthritis, and you had to have 2 steel hips put in. Just tell me a little bit about that experience and the journey that you went on.
Well, the journey I went on actually is described in my little book, True to My Roots. If anybody's interested, it's very small, and it was a journey of self-discovery, basically, you know, self-realization, the kind of a journey that us people who become therapists and practitioners tend to go on, and become what we feel we need ourselves. And actually, I was diagnosed in 1991, and I went on a self-denial journey for far too long. And so that's what my little book is about, basically. And since then, I mean, I went on for my husband's 50th birthday. He so wanted to go on his Harley Davidson to Nordkap, and that was in 2004. And I rode a pillion to Nordkap, and I said, if I see another effing fjord, I am going to scream, because my hip, my left hip at the time, was screaming in agony. So we did it, but when I got back to England, then I knew I had to face up to having my hip done. So, and from that moment onwards, I have really looked within and listened to my body, and that has been my ongoing journey. It's just ongoing, and it's magical. And sorry.
And true to my roots, Qigong is what has come out of that journey.
That's right.
Of bringing that Qigong experience together with your understanding of the body and how the body functions.
That's right. Yes.
And we were talking earlier about the significance of fissure. And I wondered if you could, and how science is now connecting with that ancient system of Qigong.
That's right. Well, I learned this. First of all, I have to be true to how I started, and I started learning Wild Goose Qigong, which is a very, very beautiful form, but it didn't actually heal me. You know, my back continued to ache more and more, and then I still had the arthritis and so on, and you know the rest of the story. So I was also drawn to learning with various teachers, amongst whom Liz Cook is one of them, and I call her the queen of core awareness, and she found that our core muscles are psoas muscles connected to our fight, fight or freeze reflex, which is connected to comes directly from the central nervous system. She calls it the messenger of the soul. And by doing exploration with her, I realized that the essence of Qigong is actually moving from inside, allowing the stretching to come from inside. And what is that on a physical level? The physical level, it's called the connective tissue or fascia. And I was given an amazing book last year by Jean-Claude Guimberteau. He's a Frenchman who does operations, and he came and found, by putting endoscopy in, say for example, when working on the wrist, he saw that there was a whole other universe within us that has never really been described. And it's called the interstitium, and also the interstitial fluid, which is what we work with in spontaneous Qigong. So what I guide people with is allowing the spontaneity of movement to emerge from within, which is triggered off by your own fluid system, which is, as I'm talking about it, my mouth fills with saliva. So it's saliva, it is lymph, it is your blood, it is your sweat, it's the serous fluid that keeps your internal organs sliding and gliding amongst each other. You know, we are about 80% fluid if you put all that together. And now they're finding that actually, you know, they missed out on one of the largest organs in the body, which is the interstitium, which is your connective tissue, your fascia. So we work at stretching our muscles from outside, but actually, you know, if you allow your body to stretch from within, it's going to give you the flexibility that you desire. It's going to get you juicy, and that's really what I say. So, you know, yeah, it's magical. It's magical.
Listening, a system to get you juicy. I can't think of anything more wonderful. And it kind of, thank you. That was a fantastic explanation of the fascia.
Thank you, Siobhan.
You know, the largest organ in the body.
Yes.
And we don't talk about it. We're only just developing understanding, but that's actually how Qigong works. The Qi is energy and Gong is
exercise or work, activation. Yeah. So, you know, the essence, I kind of like stripped all the forms and disciplines away from that, because my body taught me that, you know, even though it didn't heal, even though the system that I learned so beautiful, and you know, I still had to go through this process for myself, and probably to discover that, you know, we have an internal master within. We have our own master. So we go out we seek out gurus, we seek out masters, and we no longer live in that era. I think, you know, with the Aquarian age now, it is about grabbing your self-power back and finding that within you, you actually have your master. It's just learning to trust that, you know, and access it. And that's how you grab hold of your own self-power and your self-healing. And, you know, some of you know, I'm 68, but I take no medication. I walk, I dance. And Qigong practices me now. I mean, after 30 years of practicing Qigong, it does me when I need to. So it's a medicine. It's a
Because
medicine.
I think that's one of the key things about the system that you've created, is, you know, the trajectory for osteoarthritis and steel hips is kind of a downward trajectory. And what your story shows is that it doesn't have to be, it can actually be an upward trajectory.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it's having that faith in yourself and that ability. It's about knowing that, you know, okay, well, you get a verdict, for example, by a doctor, and I'm not, you know, criticizing doctors, because they do the best they can, and they are useful. I mean, gosh, I'm so glad and so happy that I live in this era so that I could have my hips done. Otherwise, I would have been a cripple in a wheelchair, you know. But so I'm very, very grateful. And yes, I have got these metal hips as a reminder of who and where I was once upon a time, you know, and in a way it reflects the rest of the world as well. But now I think it's very important that I share, you know, because people say, oh, once you've got osteoarthritis, you have it that's it, you know, it's just, like you say, it's a downhill journey then, but it isn't. You know, I might have a little bunion on my foot, but it stayed the same, simply because I've altered my posture. I'm always conscious of how I hold myself, so that I have a free flow system, if you like. Because if your posture is not good, you create a blockage. So, and if you think about energy like water, and we are energy, then, you know, clear the blockage just by a simple adaptation of how you sit, how you hold yourself, how you lie in bed. So that's the basics of Qigong. The basics of Qigong is having a free flowing river. It's really the best way I can describe it. And
I think you describe it beautifully. It inspires me and makes me want to book a session. So you do offer online individual sessions for people, don't you?
I do, yes, I do. We do it on Zoom. I had to learn how to do Zoom since I entered the silver tent, so with all the hiccups. And I also do a little group on a Friday morning at 10:30 British summertime at the moment, till it's our winter time again. 10:30 on a Friday, that's tomorrow. And I do one-on-one sessions with people, yes. And that's been an eye-opener for me, actually. That's been really nice, because I love having people, of course, live in my clinic, but doing Zoom has been a real eye-opener, because energy travels through the screen, and I thought, wow, that's quite stunning. So yes.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. So we'll put in the post how to contact you, and I can highly recommend a session. And I just really wanted to validate that the power of the system that you're using and in your life, because I've seen you dance, and baby, can you move?
Baby, can I move? I like that. Well, and that was sedate.
So I can testify to it.
Thank you, Siobhan.
Yeah, True to My Roots Qigong is certainly worth investing.
Well, I called my book True to My Roots, but the system is actually called True to Our Roots, because it's our inheritance as human beings. Wonderful. So it's almost a duty for me to share it with people. That's why I'm so passionate, and that's why it's very difficult for me not to go into a verbal diarrhea flow.
I've really found your descriptions very helpful, actually. It's helped me to, I obviously know the fascia through cranial sacral therapy.
That's right, yes.
And I found your description really brought it to life, and I had a real sense of what's going on inside of me.
Thank you, Siobhan. That's lovely.
Yeah, no, thank you. I think we agreed that there's probably going to be a part 2 of this conversation, because there's so much to explore and share with you. But for now, can I just give my heartfelt thanks to you for coming and sharing your wisdom with us?
Thank you so much. And thank you, Siobhan, for giving me your time to to interview me. I feel very blessed.
I loved
Thank
it.
you.
I'm so pleased that we made the time.
Thank you
This
so
is
much.
Siobhan and Nadia signing off for Silver Tent TV. Wherever you are in the world, if the sun isn't shining in your skies, may it shine in your heart. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.